If you're wondering what this bizarre looking animal is, this is an okapi, and it looks like somewhat of a cross between a giraffe, a horse, and it's got legs that are similar to a zebra with the coloring. But this is an okapi. This one's name is Kwame. He's a member of the Houston Zoo, and joining me right now is Phil Coleman from the Houston Zoo. Tell me a bit about Kwame. He's from Congo, the Republic of Zaire.
Yeah, these animals are in what they call the impenetrable forest, so they need to be kind of compact, not very tall, and dark colored, and to be silent, and they're perfectly suited for that.
This okapi is very friendly. Its name is Kwame, but in the wild you normally wouldn't get close to an okapi. They'd run away from you before you get a feed from them, right?
Yeah, and they would know that you were there before you knew they were there. Yeah.
And we're actually controlling this guy, or keeping him in the same area with some hackberry, a tree here, which he is just enjoying like it's candy right now.
It's great stuff.
Okapis are herbivores, and what's interesting is they have this huge tongue. Take a look at this. That tongue will stretch right out. It actually is about a foot long, and he can actually groom his eyebrows with it. And his head looks a lot like a giraffe, and I guess it's because he's a native cousin to the giraffe.
Yeah, the only living relative. They have horns very similar, and the ears are very large, and the face is elongated.
And it's somewhat of a throwback or prehistoric type animal, huh?
Yeah, they look very, very similar. Giraffe in some way, shape, or form have been around for millions of years.
Okapi, a beautiful animal, and as you can see, a bit greasy, but that's okay. If you'd like to learn more about this animal or any of the animals here at the Houston Zoo, you can get naturally wired by logging on to www.houstonzoo.org. For Naturally Wild TV with the Okapi, I'm Todd Duplantis. Well, right now we're at the Houston Zoo with the world's largest lizard, or one of them. This is a Komodo dragon. This is Smog, and joining me right now is Judith, who's with the Houston Zoo. And Smog is what? How old is Smog?
Smog is 7 years old.
The Smog is about 8 feet long, 100 pounds. They are from islands in Indonesia. And you know, one thing I thought was always cool about Komodo dragons, their mouth is festering with a bacteria. And I can see that bacteria coming close to me here. Anyway, their mouth is festering with a bacteria, and what they actually do will follow around their prey, bite it, and then just wait for it to die of a staph infection.
Yes, that's very common with them.
How long does that usually take?
A day or two.
So a day or two, the animal's gone.
And ready to be eaten, yeah.
But a lot of people think they're venomous, and they're not. It's actually the bacteria in their mouth that's the problem, correct?
Right, just bacteria, no venom or venom glands at all.
Now, what we're doing, and we're getting actually very close to this Komodo dragon, but out in the wild,
no, you would not do this in the wild. These guys are very smart and very curious and trainable.
Very trainable, and you spend a lot of time working with him with an enrichment program?
Yes, I do.
What are some of the things you can do to kind of keep his mind active while he's in the enclosure?
Different things with scents and making them work to find their food, things like that.
And I also notice he likes to interact with the general public as they come by his enclosure here.
Yes, he does.
Now, if you'd like to know more about Smog or his sister or any of the animals at the Houston Zoo, you can get naturally wired by logging on to www.houstonzoo.org. For Naturally Wild TV, I'm Todd Duplantis. We're at the Houston Zoo today, and we're with a group of animals, or I should say a mob of meerkats. These animals were made wildly popular by the movie The Lion King, but this is what they look like in person. And this is Maria, one of the keepers here at the zoo, and they're not really related to cats though, but they're called meerkats. That's just more or less a nickname for them.
That's right. They're actually most closely related to mongooses.
And if you're wondering what we're doing, we are feeding them mealworms, which is like candy to these guys. These are wonderful little treats for them. This is a major part of their diet?
It is actually. These guys are actually insectivores out in the wild, which means that they mostly live off of worms and crickets and other small creepy crawly insects.
One thing you'll notice in this exhibit here at the zoo is if you watch the animals without people inside of the exhibit, some of them are staring up at the sky. That's because the meerkats live in a community and each one has a job. Some of them are sentries and stand guard. Other ones watch over the kids?
Absolutely, yep. They all take turns doing both types of jobs, watching for predators as well as raising the kids.
And there's actually a matriarch of the meerkats?
There is, yes.
Now, they're from the Kalahari Desert, so they're used to living out in very arid environments. Where do they find their water supply in the wild?
Actually, they are really wonderful diggers, so usually they can tap into water sources below ground, but they also travel quite a bit. They're pretty nomadic.
Meerkats, one of the animals you can find here at the Houston Zoo, and of course, if you'd like to get naturally wired, you can tune in and log on to the Houston Zoo at www.houstonzoo.org. For Naturally Wild TV, I'm Todd Duplantis with the Meerkats. Okay, which one of you guys nipped me earlier? Was it you?